Watch that boy, baby!
Come here! Let's go. Give me a flipper.
I made two drinks here.
Are we
Yeah.
drinks first, or are we doing the league?
Whatever you want to do. They're just getting watered down for right now.
All right, well, let's do drinks first then. I guess we'll say welcome to the show for amateur hour 54, 55 or something. We have several topics to discuss, including the status of the league, but most importantly, we're going to talk about what we're drinking right now. So we've all come up with drinks inspired by the league. And by the way, I'm here with Troy, who's on one screen, and Walt, who's on another screen.
Thumbs up emoji.
Thumbs up emoji. We're here.
So, Troy, why don't you tell us what your drink is?
Let's see. First, I have the signature Lebowski drink, the White Russian.
Okay.
And, that's for everyone. Everyone can have a White Russian.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the league. That's just how I always like to start all of my appearances.
Oh.
Is that how you start your
Very
morning?
scratchy.
What's that, Walt?
Is that how you start your morning?
Yes, with a White Russian.
Okay. So, do you have one that's for the league, or is that's just what you got?
Well, I went with the Southeast Texas favorite whiskey with Coke with a little rum in it as well.
Oh.
And I just call that one the Vidorian Asphalt, which is me.
Vidorian Asphalt.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
So Maker's Mark whiskey with some Deep Eddy with some Bacardi rum and some Coke.
Great. Okay. Walt, what do you have going on?
Man, I went with the showstopper.
What's the stopper?
The showstopper is just like the football team. It's old and it's reliable. It's just vodka and a sparkling water drink.
And it has none of its original parts.
Exactly.
But every part can play quarterback.
Yes. Yes, you have a drink.
You see all the quarterbacks I got in there?
I see it.
Right. Okay, well, I thought that y'all would kind of enjoy this. I'm going to actually make mine in front of you. This drink is called the Flipper. It's the Shun Limbrick Flipper. You go to the
Flipper.
Flipper.
Well, hey, give me a flipper.
I'll give you a Flipper. First thing a Flipper has is, of course, damn it, Malibu rum in the hardest to open bottle in the world. Malibu rum. Let's see. And then you're going to get you some pineapple juice. I recommend Dole because, well, Sean told me it was the best. I've consulted Sean about this drink. And we pour in a couple ounces of that. Now, here's the fun part. For the Flipper, you flip the next ingredient. So heads, it's Grand Marnier, and tails, so it's tails. All right. So it's vodka. By the way, someone inside the house here purchased me a bunch of these tiny bottles of stuff.
It looks like you've been on a lot of flights recently.
They're really coming in handy. Hey, and then you flip one more time for the final ingredient. Tails means red grenadine. That's
My
all
goodness.
red. And you
This
kinda
is going to
use
be a
some of
fancy
that.
looking drink.
It's going to be something. Now, here's the part you're going to have to really guess at. What do y'all think we do now?
Shake it.
No, you flip it.
You flip it. Oh,
And there's your Shun Limbrick Flipper.
I like
You pour it in your glass and enjoy.
Enjoy.
So this is the Shun Limbrick Flipper.
Give me a flipper.
No ice. No
That's
ice or
something.
nothing, huh?
No ice at all. Now I have one more for you that I think you'll both enjoy. It is the Sweet Bitter Burn. Troy Maddox Sweet Bitter Burn. It's extremely powerful,
I inspire a lot of drinking.
and you have to take it real fast and in small doses. So the first ingredient is Fireball, and this is a shot. Not a
I
Fireball.
like where this one's going.
Other ingredient, and it's only got 2 ingredients for the Troy Maddox Sweet Bitter Burn shot, is some bitters.
Several dashes of bitters.
Just some dashes of bitters. And like I said, you can't drink this. You got to shoot it. Be fast. So, your health. Oh, God. All right.
Are you going to be able to finish this podcast?
You're welcome. You are welcome, Cody.
Those bitters, man, there's something. Well, anyway. What?
I don't know if you're going to be able to finish the podcast. That's all.
He's a veteran. He knows how to do
I've been practicing at this for years. Also, if you notice, I have my anthill artwork behind me. Very fancy.
I've got one of those.
Yeah, mine's in the house on display.
Good. All right. So
everybody thinks it's abstract art.
Well, it is.
It is. It's very abstract.
So, Walt, you're the president. What are we going to tell people about the league?
Oh, he made a bigger showstopper. Look how big that one is.
Yeah, I had Karen make me another one.
That's the Jason Williamson.
I was trying to keep up with Cody. So yeah, about the league. So I've got a lot of text messages and calls asking, what are we going to do about the league? And the answer is, I don't think anybody knows. A definite answer. We kind of talked about this the other day, that, 2 things have to happen. One, Hardin County, which is where we play, they have to release the restrictions so that we can have more than 10 people out at the field. Second thing that has to happen is the school's got to allow us to play. Now, you don't necessarily have to have both of them because if the school doesn't want us to play, we can try to find other areas to play. But everybody who's played for a long time in Southeast Texas knows, like, the athletic complex and places like that, and those places are closed. So, we need a couple things to happen for us to actually start playing again. Somebody asked me if we were going to cancel the league altogether, and I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't think we're at that point yet, because we normally don't have a summer league. So we have a lot of time there that's vacant. Now, will the league be the same? No, it's going to be some condensed version. I mean, nobody knows for sure, but, the writing on the wall is it's going to be some kind of condensed version of what we were expecting.
Right.
So until stuff starts opening up, we're just kind of in limbo. And I told somebody the other day who called me asking about the league, I said, listen, there's people who work for Major League Baseball who get paid a lot of money, and they don't know what they're doing. We're just a bunch of guys who play flag football. You can't expect us to have the answers just yet. So that's been my thought.
I think what we want people to know, though, is that we're going to play again, and that we're going to play as soon as we possibly can. Something that you guys out there listening to this or watching this can think about is the reason baseball and basketball and football cancel and move their leagues or cancel them all together is because they have to have venues and fans and stuff. We don't, we could start back up as soon as things are lifted. So it's not like it's that hard for us to play in the summer. So don't think that because the NFL is delayed or NBA is not playing that we can't play.
Well, and my thought was, even if Hardin County lifts it and the school says no, nobody can come on campus until the next school year, which starts in August or whatever. Well, so this is my thought, if we can't start until August, we can still finish the spring league. What we could do, this is just my opinion, I'm just throwing this out here now. We take the top 4 teams, they play on one weekend, like a round robin. They all play each other on a weekend. The next weekend, the bottom 4 teams play each other in a round robin. And then you get seeded into a double elimination tournament the next weekend. We can just have a 3-week little season in August. It'd be hot, but we can do that. Just have everybody make the playoff. Everybody plays. That gives everybody at least another 5 games. And I think you can do that, do a round robin for 2 weeks, then do a 2 double elimination playoff with everybody over the next weekend and be done with it, and then we can start in the fall league in September. That's my thought. Don't do a summer tournament because we won't be able to do a summer tournament.
Well, to me that's almost a worst case scenario, right? I mean, because
exactly.
the way I'm looking at it is I believe things are going to start opening back up for everything and everybody around late May. That's June, July. Let's say I'm being optimistic and it opens up in June. You still have July, and so there's still a lot that can be done. Yeah, it's going to be hot. It's not going to be ideal, but I think after 2 months of quarantine or whatever, nobody's going to give a crap. We just want to play football, and we will. The question is, when, and nobody really has the answers. But the furthest thing on my mind, and I don't know about you guys, but if for some of y'all who've been asking me, and maybe you don't have my number and you haven't asked me, the last thing on our mind is canceling the league altogether. And just,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the furthest thing that we're thinking about. We will play. It just, we don't have the answers exactly just yet.
And you guys paid your money, so you're going to get your money's worth. We certainly don't want you to pay and not be able to our league. And if we had worst case scenario, like you were saying, Troy, and we had to condense it into 3 weeks, I would be okay with, and I'd like to hear what y'all thought about if we had to do that, giving any teams that paid for this league a discount on the next one.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I mean,
that's the greatest thing about being a nonprofit is, we need money to survive, obviously, because we have insurance and field rental and equipment and so on and so forth. But, we don't turn a profit. So that's the best thing. Money's not the driving force for us. The only thing we like to ensure is that the dollars that our teams pay, which is pretty minuscule if you look, because I play, Troy, I know you play, we play Beaumont softball. That's $375 for a 6-week season.
And the facilities are terrible.
Yeah. So the only thing we ensure is that, from day one, since I played in Southeast Texas Flag Football League, which I want to say 16, somewhere around there, 2016, when Showstoppers came over, it's always been you get more for your dollar with the Southeast Texas Flag Football League than I've played in any other league. And that's going to continue to go, COVID-19 or not. We will find a solution somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
That sounds good. So if you guys have any suggestions, you can certainly comment on this on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitter. Anybody talk.
Another thing is if you go to setxffl.com on your phone, at the bottom you'll see a little email app. That email app goes straight to me. If you have a question, concern, suggestion, you can email me, and I'll make sure that Cody, Troy, and the rest of the board hears it and knows about it, and we can talk about it.
Yeah. Anything else y'all want to talk about with the league?
No, like I said, I think
play.
we're still just in a standstill. Yeah, but I mean, I'm just ready to play. If we have to, if Jefferson or if Hardin County, the school says we can't play, but Jefferson County opens up the park, maybe we can play at the complex for a few weeks. I don't know. I mean, we just don't know yet, and I think we have a lot of options. Just we don't know what they are yet.
Honestly, and I don't know the school real well, but I think the school's going to be the last of the hiccups. I don't see them saying you're not going to play if the counties open up. If Jefferson County's opened up, Hardin County's opened up, of course, Governor Abbott, he shut down, the school for the rest of the academic year. I just don't see them saying, no, you can't use our facilities. I could be wrong, but that's just my take on it. But again, if they are that way, they have every right to be. It's their facilities. We can. That's when we start exploring options B and C, where we look at other facilities to play.
That's good. And just you guys can rest assured that we're going to figure it out. We're going to keep your safety in mind. We're not going to get anybody infected. We don't have to, but we're going to play flag as soon as possible. So I think that's the main takeaway from any of this. Now we have some other topics to go over. Fun. And one of the things I wanted to ask you two about was, what is the best team that's ever played in the league that never played for a championship?
The Expendables.
Maybe. I think the Expendables have a lot of really good pieces. They've beaten the Jack Boys once or twice.
Yeah, but still have never played for a championship.
No, they have not. I agree. Walt, yeah.
That was my team. That's why I was kind of made the face, because I really thought about, what is the best team that hasn't made the championship, and it really is the Expendables. The Expendables with their quarterback, they're the best team that hasn't made a championship, hands down. They're just a couple of consistent, look at the teams that have made championships. The Herd, Showstoppers, Forward Iron Boys, Jack Boys. You take Jack Boys out of it because they're the most talented bunch there. But you look at, the Herd, Showstoppers, the reason we go places is because we're consistent. If the Expendables can get consistent players consistently showing up for the playoffs, that was a killer. When I first started playing for the Showstoppers, that you guys know this, nobody would show up during the regular season, and then all the Showstoppers would show up, for the playoffs. And that's why the old 2 games.
That's the showstopper rule. That's what our
the showstopper rule.
That's what our rule's for. It's the showstopper rule. Got to show up to play.
All the Croaks would drive in from Los Angeles, Austin, everywhere. We start recruiting people. But yeah, if they could consistently, I think the Expendables can play for a championship if 2 things happen. One, they get Trey Green to play the entire season, and they have a
not going to happen.
They get a good seeding. It's because with Trey Green at quarterback, they're in a 10-week season, a 3-4-loss team. They get a good seeding, and they get a little lucky in the playoffs, like they've always done. Play a weekend Jack Boys team that doesn't have everybody there. They play for a championship, and they have a chance to win it.
Now, see,
the True Black Panthers won a championship.
They sure did. But see, I really think that that Andrew Allen's a little better than Trey Green, because Trey can't move. He's inconsistent.
Trey doesn't show up. He doesn't show up when he says he's going to show up. So he's unreliable, the most unreliable person on the team.
Right? Nope, Troy's enough. I'm going to put this on the internet.
You play on the Expendables?
You know it.
What about the Average Joes? Do y'all remember them?
I do. It had Cunn and JJ and
good team.
but they only won season, so I didn't even put them in there because they only made 1 season.
Well, that's kind of like, I don't know. Do y'all guys remember the Mid-County Dodgers?
Yeah, with Atterbury and both. Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. A lot of talented players, but no chief to run the thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing with Average Joes. There was a lot of JJ, like you name them, JJ, Daniel Atterbury, Josh was still with us, but Chris Cunningham. There was a lot of talented players on Average Joes. But again, flag football is not about having the most talented players. It's about having talented players and a good game plan and somebody to lead the way.
What about the Outlaws?
That's true.
They played a championship. They played against us. The Outlaws
they did. That's right.
Oh, my bad. You're right. Yeah, I think
even the Mid-County Dodgers played for a championship against the Loose Cannons. I remember that. They beat us to go to the championship. So they actually played for a championship, one of the last seasons in Beaumont that we were in Beaumont.
Okay, I wasn't sure. How long did the Mid-County Dodgers play for? A year or two?
Maybe 2 or 3 seasons, yeah. Not very long.
Yeah. Okay. See, that was one thing I was unsure of. But I knew the Outlaws. We beat the Outlaws, I think, our first year that we won a championship in SCTX FFL. But, yeah, that was a good team, but they made a championship, obviously.
Yeah.
In fact, I heard some rumblings on Facebook, some people talking about getting the old Outlaws back together. Not a bad idea.
I saw that, too. I think that would be interesting. Especially if they get Bruce. If Bruce will play with them again.
Got to have a quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, sure do. Okay, so I think we're all in agreement, though. The Expendables are probably the best team that's never played for a championship as far as it's played. To me, at least. So Troy last night was texting us, and he wanted to do our top 5 favorite characters, since obviously everybody's just watching TV right now.
Yes.
Troy, do you have your top 5?
I have my top 5, and of course I have a few honorable mentions as well. So I couldn't narrow down the top 5. So do we want to just go all the way through, or do we just want to do one at a time, or what? Or we just do each one of ours at once?
Tell it, you go first, and then Walt can go, then I'll go. So we'll just
Okay, so I'll go first. So my honorable mentions were Deputy James Garcia from Reno 911. Not a lot of people have seen that show, but it's one of my favorite characters. Just very angry all the time. He's very angry at everything all the time. So I like him. My other honorable mention was Hayden Fox from Coach. Just always had an attitude. Was on edge all the time. But was a good family guy. He was a really good guy though. But just that character was really good. All right, so now we get into the actual top 5. My number 5, Ruth Langmore from Ozark.
Oh, Ruth.
Ozark?
She has not yet reached her criminal potential.
Oh, she's one of my favorite characters. I mean, just in my top 5, she's so good. What a character. She's so good. Number 4 is Woody Boyd from Cheers.
I've never seen Cheers.
Oh,
You're a lot older than I am, so.
oh yes, that whole year older than you, yes. Yeah. Woody from Cheers is one of the best characters. He was so dumb and innocent, but was really such a good character. Number 3 is Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's a good one.
You don't know if he's a serial killer or some kind of rapist or whatever, but he thinks he's the greatest thing on earth. So Dennis Reynolds, very good. Number 2, George Costanza from Seinfeld. Just because he's just the lovable loser. He's terrible at life. He doesn't ever get anything going his way, but has some of the best lines ever in that show. And my number 1 of all time is Boyd Crowder from the show Justified. Not a lot of people have seen that, but he's one of the best criminal characters of all time, Boyd Crowder. I'll shoot you some YouTube videos. He's so good.
Okay, that's really good. I like that.
That's my top 5.
Okay. Walt, you got a top 5 television characters?
Yeah, so I have a top 5. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but I'm not going to put them in any particular order. But I went a little different. You went with kind of like your top 5 favorite.
Yeah.
So I kind of went with like people that I thought are just recognizable and like really changed the TV landscape.
Okay.
My first one's going to be kind of off the wall for you guys, but Red Sanford from Sanford and Sons.
I like it. That's good.
I mean, he was just, just different. I actually like a lot of his stand-up too. You mentioned The Office. I watch a lot of The Office. I like Dwight Schrute. I think
that's a good one.
That is one of the best characters ever contrived. I mean, it was great. But I think if you're talking top 5 characters of all time that you have to mention, and this is going to go back to my childhood, you got to mention some Family Matters. You got to go with Steve Urkel. I mean,
he was so annoying to me though. I just didn't like him. He was so annoying.
He was annoying, but I mean, if you're talking top 5 TV, that's what I'm saying. Like, he might not be my favorite, but top 5 TV characters of all time, you'd have to go with Steve Urkel. I just think, I don't know. That's me.
I think Steve Urkel is a very memorable guy.
Yeah.
What about Stefan Urkel?
His alter ego.
His alter ego.
His Mr.
Hyde, yeah.
Other than that, I would say you picked the wrong Seinfeld character. Kramer, to me.
I knew you were going to go Kramer.
I just, Kramer's a funny guy. He was ahead of his time, I think. But I'm going to throw you a curveball for my last pick. I'm going to have to go with Bart Simpson.
Oh,
that's okay. I have a bunch of cartoon characters on my list.
Yeah.
Figure. Look, I didn't. Like I said, that's more towards my childhood. I remember Simpsons, the game. But I mean, think about how long Simpsons has been on the air. And,
True.
So that would be my top 5 in no particular order, though. I don't like ranking 1 through 5. It's just how I feel. Some days that character might be number 1.
Those are pretty good though, because those are pop culture characters that will always be around, and I think those are pretty good ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Cody, your turn.
All right. I'll try to give you 5 to 1, but I'll give you some like kind of people I think about while I was doing this. I really like, to me, those main characters are pretty easy. Like Jerry Seinfeld on Seinfeld is pretty easy. Even like George is kind of easy, but he's George. Like they picked the exact guy to play.
Yeah.
Like that was the perfect guy to play George Seinfeld. But to me, like some of these shows, like Breaking Bad, you couldn't get anybody else to play Gustavo Fring other than I can't really get his name now. Giancarlo, can't remember his last name. But Gustavo Fring, he was awesome. He was just like a really good, kind of almost bad guy or whatever. I think Bob Odenkirk has had about 1,000 characters that I thought were hilarious or just very interesting. But let's see, I have 7, or I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I have 7 on here. So really in no particular order until I get down to 1 or 2. But Baelish from Game of Thrones, I thought was awesome.
Okay.
I thought he was really good, very just a good bad guy. I think it's hard to be a good bad guy.
Yeah.
So
He played the game the way it was supposed to be played.
Yeah, and I think they got the right guy for that role. Dwight Schrute is another one. Walt's already said him, but you can't get another dude except for Rainn Wilson to play Dwight Schrute. Like, even people who don't like The Office can go to YouTube and watch Dwight Schrute and think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, now Michael Armentrout is in my top 5. Dad and Better Call Saul. I think Michael Armentrout is really cool. I like that actor a lot. He's very interesting. Now, let's see here. I like funny stuff. Top 4, I think, for the funny things that I like. We'll go with number 4, Randy Marsh from South Park. He's such a freaking idiot, but he gets everybody else to believe in his idiocy, and that to me is like the best thing ever. Because it's like happens in the world all the time. You know, dumbass gets everyone else to like go on with their dumbass ideas, and that's like Randy in every episode. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Roger from American Dad. There's another cartoon, but Roger is so many different things and so awful yet likable. Really makes me like him. He's the alien on American Dad. If anybody watches that.
Yeah.
Number 2, I will go with Tobias Fuke from Arrested Development.
Oh God.
I just think he's awesome. He's hilarious. Like at some point he was like a Mrs. Doubtfire type thing called Mrs. Featherbottom, and like he was really hilarious. I think my number 1 has got to go to Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Oh well, one of the best
show
animated characters.
Yeah, but that's all I have, and I think we're actually running out of our 40 minutes.
Already?
I don't know. They sent me some kind of notification. I should have put like a time clock on here. Just in case we're about to be over. Do y'all have any closing remarks?
No, this has been fun. I've had a good time. This is more interesting than watching old herd videos and commenting on them.
I agree. And I think if any of you would like to be a guest on the Amateur Hour, we can do a Zoom meeting and you can come right on.
I think that's an excellent idea.
of
This is an easy way to get people on Amateur Hour.
Yeah. So, you got anything else?
I'm good.
Well, guys, we're going to start flag football up again soon. We hope you like the digital football cards. If you want one made, we're going to start having so that you can buy them. Otherwise, we're just going to kind of randomly pick people that have played in the league for a while. It's not because we love any of you more than anybody else. It's because we have good highlights and a good picture of you. So there's really nothing else. But if y'all have any questions, of course, feel free to send us a message on Facebook or Twitter. You can call, but we'll be around and we're going to start back soon. So have a wonderful day.
Good luck.
Thumbs up emoji.